this before from you, sir. We've seen what happens when you get cocky. Just be careful. Still, the Muerta, he looked happy about it. He looked very confident. Flea may not though, because Flea's been caught out bottom lane, slowed up by the blood grenade, and is as good as dead. He's gone. But back to my point, the Muerta, in theory, should counter Terrorblade. In theory.
I think it does go beyond theory. I think it, in practice, it really does. It's not a theoretical. It straight out does win out versus Terrorblade after itemization. Like, it's pretty rough for a Muerta to play from behind. I think that's the one thing. Your Maelstrom timing is pretty big in this hero. Your build up into your crits, your build up into damage is going to be big. Basically, attack speed. If you can get like your MKB, Moonshard up pretty fast after your Maelstrom, then you feel really nice. I think that's the one thing you have to watch out for here. And I think the song's Wildcard gets a strong laning start. You will find that.
R8 taking a lot of harassment already, but will be okay to back his way out. No problems. You know, the one thing I do love about this Muerta hero, like this gunslinger ability is ridiculous. Like max level 50% chance of just firing a second shot. The farming pace you have with this hero should be insane, and usually is insane from what I've seen. But I haven't had the pleasure of seeing it come up too much in the pro scene, so I'm intrigued to see how fast Sammy will be.
Yeah, it's, again, it's really strong. And the farming pace is good. You tend to go for the Maelstrom build and just clear out camps so fast. You do a lot of damage in the middle of the fights. The weird thing with Muerta is it has some weird hour scaling.
Oh.
Like, I still don't know its timings all too well, as they do run down B-God quite a fair bit. But, like, its power timings in terms of items and levels are a little bit funky. Like, Pierce the Veil, once you pick it up, feels great, and then you kind of fade out until you reach your level 2 Pierce the Veil with more skill points into the Gunslinger. Then you start to feel amazing. Then you taper off again until you reach, like, your itemization into Moonshard, into maybe a Mjolnir, into maybe a Shadow Blade, and then the hero just feels insane. Like, it's very quirky for Muerta. The one thing you do have here for Sammy is that, again, you're into triple melee cores, technically, with Terrorblade. Maybe theoretically too. But just that much melee heroes with the calling up, I'm this slow, this damage and the silence, it's going to be massive in impacting these team fights that the cut will want to bring out. Like, if you try to gap close onto a Muerta, it's not going to be easy, even with the charge up on Ade. It's not straightforward, and Sammy should have himself a good time in lane, which we are seeing, and probably just has good time into his Maelstrom timing and going forward from there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have a look at the bot lane while we're here, John. Scourge, McDuck, and Empyrean, they're going to go in on Flea again. That level 2 Tombstone timing, obviously very, very important to try and abuse, and Empyrean and Scourge McDuck certainly do so. Very nice pick up. And you just popped the Metamorphosis, so they might even pressure the bottom tier 1 just a little bit. But why the hell not? They'll go for the creep wave instead. Flea again being targeted by Scourge and Empyrean, but without the Tombstone, it's not going to be anywhere near as effective. And naturally, they were lacking a blood grenade on top, so no kills for them this time.
No kills coming out. Still holding a steady lane. You do manage to find B-God once more up top. Sunlight just trading really favorably. He does manage to live on a sliver of HP. You are seeing the power of the techies again in trades. Even the Clinks can't really melt away at that hero until you start get more on minus armor up. Taking a peek at that last lane we haven't really talked about, the mid of Puck versus Tiny. We've seen this lane multiple times before for at least 2 years. It has faded out in recent time, but Tiny still wins out this one. He did get slightly buffed on Avalanche, if I recall right, like lower cooldowns and early levels, so more spamability for MTD. Blink timing is in the key for the Tiny.
Last off. Top lane, they're both stuck in the calling right now. Look, they're not going to have enough to quite clean up here. Ade and B-God both able to back out of the top lane just fine. Sammy and Sunlight have tried to be as aggressive as possible here at the top. Has worked out at least once onto B-God. Ade's not finding the most farm either on the Spirit Breaker in the top lane. Mind you, though, he is still having a much better time than he did in Game 1. Considering Game 1, I think he died 3 times during the laning stage. One of them would have already been done by now, but not the case this game. So at least your Spirit Breaker is not feeding Sammy too much.
Yeah. He's having a little bit more presence out. Adi is at least getting his levels up. Should have some stable time, at least to hit that level 6, level 5 spikes. Start to play around there. You can threaten onto the Muerta. That's the one thing with the Muerta. It is very much a glass cannon. Like, it doesn't have that much HP. It doesn't have that much EHP scaling as well. You should be able to run it down once the level spikes are available. And get a much better start for the cut coming out. 2-1, MTD under a little bit of threat down mid, but not going to be jumped by RCY. He is finding that farm, but has to respect the output of the puck. With no bottle top-up as well for MTD, it's not going to feel comfy in the mid lane, waiting for that power rune to come up. RCY is going to be able to run down a couple of waves here.
MTD's had a decent time in terms of CS, at least. Bottom lane, Monster going to go down in the tide. Not a great feeling here for Wildcard. See the Tombstone again being abused here by Empyrean, and Scourge McDuck with the Metamorphosis. But to help get that done against the Tide Hunter. Happy days here for the cut down in this bottom lane, as Scourge is having just a brilliant start. Very kind of opposite situation to what happened last game with the cut, as they were the ones kind of, again, feeding Sammy, as now Flea dropping quite low on the edge. Not going to go down, but it survived from 35 HP. Did have a bunch of one charges though, so was never really in danger. Still 3-1. Slight net worth advantage the way of the wildcard side, as mid lane, MTD. Avalanche toss is there, RCY, he will have the ore back up. Does jaunt away in the end. So MTD just threatening him to get away from this creep wave. He'll be able to do so just fine. RCY though, he's going to have the bottle top up here from Flea, so it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Gets a little bit of a reset, and they set up for the 6-minute power runes here as well.
MTD, nice deny from Sunlight. Not going to allow the bottle fill up here for the Tiny. I don't believe B got actually TP'd in. I believe he did walk down from the top lane, so that's why MTD does not have a full bottle, though he does find 2 bounty runes for his trouble, and even a Techie's kill. That's even better.
Yeah. You have to respect that Bristol with the Avalanche toss and the Tiny. So a lot of output coming out onto these squishier heroes. And still finds one bounty to refill anyway for MTD, the other one taken up by Sunlight. And pretty good movements out from the supports, but MTD isn't really punished. Fairly durable now on the Tiny with a grow up. So you can't really get an easy gank attempt onto that Tiny anytime soon. And it's Wildcard that's forced to play a lot slower. Like, the biggest concern is Monster's lane. It's just been dead. He has not had a game at all on the Tide Hunter. He's not able to stop Scourge McDuck's farm. His timings into Meteor Hammer should still line up. So you can still kind of leave this Tide Hunter alone, get a solo push going for yourself, and try to secure some space that way. But this is a runaway start for Scourge McDuck. The Yash is not going to be too slow. And once you're up and running there, we just need to see Scourge McDuck play around the same way we saw Sammy did. They catch Empyrean out.
I see why. Yeah, Empyrean gets caught. The Centaur from Flea was just giving vision the whole time, so it was a very easy chase down here from RCY. He just claimed himself a free kill here in the park. We saw Empyrean trying to rotate for the 7-minute Wisdom Rune timing, but gets caught with his pants down here against Flea. So nice easy pick up here for Wildcard now, 4-2. Going back to top lane, this Murta's having a really damn good time, 43-10 in terms of CS. I kind of wonder, right? In fact, hold that thought, because there is going to be a Twin Gate usage here from Sammy down towards the bot lane. He does have Pierce the Veil available, so he wants to kill him to Scourge. Gush is there from Monster. They've got the Ravage. No hesitation. They'll drop everything onto the TB. They'll secure a very, very important kill. Great rotation here from Sammy. And with the Enchanted Creep and the Tide that they have, they can push into Tier 1 tower quite easily to force the TP rotation in from MTD, but the TP will get cancelled. He just wanted to see them back off. Again, a great rotation here from the Muerta. The mid lane, RCY, getting very low, is going to be okay. Top lane, however, Ade does at least catch Sunlight. So you do get a Techie's kill for your trouble. Scourge. Bottom lane again. Gotta be cautious not to get too aggressive. Doesn't really have too much to worry about, though, I suppose, without the Ravage and the Pierce of the Veil. Scourge, he's just going to go up top lane. He's not going to mess around down here at bot. There's no rule saving the Tier 1 bottom tower anymore.
just have to surrender your trading up top anyway. Imperium can try to stall out. Tombstone only 20 seconds away, but that might be 20 seconds too much. No one defending up top either. Sunlight just TPing in to kind of try to soak some EXP. And for Wildcard, and you're seeing a little bit of quirky tempo coming out. Sammy Boy realizing when he's strong, but they're sacrificing a lot of cores in that process. Like RCY and Monster just don't have the farm you'd want them to at this point. They are a little bit behind on that puck. They might find Imperium again, but again, Tombstone's ready.
He's going to try for the TP play out, and oh no, he's not going to make it. RCY. Very close call there, but they do secure the kill on the Undying. I was going to say, John, as well, like, you know, this Muerta hero, I've been complaining about it being, or feeling a bit weaker than it should. Why make it an in hero when we can make it a universal hero, John? Why not? RCY, mid lane, he's going to be okay. Think about it, John. It's a new hero. We just got universal heroes in, and she has been feeling weak, right? Why not have it universal?
Way too much. It's way too much if it was universal. Like, stat pattern on this hero would be insane. Fierce Veil would be insane. Gunslinger would be insane. I mean, I think the hero's in a pretty decent spot. It's a little bit more niche right now. It's not like a glass cannon carry that you can pick up every single time. But it has some insane spikes still. I don't think it's actually weak right now. It's just very niche. And this is one of the matchups where it does work. So I think it's in a good spot. I don't think you need to touch it. I think it's fine. I don't think it needs to be universal. Because I think overall, universal will take a hit anyway. Probably drop down to 0.6 from 0.7. Should be
very boring
little band-aid picks. No, you can't have it universal. It's too much. Can you imagine, like, right now, the one weakness of Muerta is that she has to build int, right? Like, the best you can hope for is, like, maybe a Scotty. The stat pad a little bit. Scotty Lincolns. If you could actually go for more strength items up, I mean, this year is just atrocious. Like, the one weakness is that she has such little HP and armor. But the moment you buff that up, that's no.
I don't know why it would make me so happy to see it. I don't know why. It just, I just feel like just make it universal.
All right, I think the reason why you want to see it is because you didn't see this in Dream League 19. It popped out so much there. Like, it was all over the place. It was pretty hit or miss, to be fair. I think people were just picking it just as a flash reaction to it being pretty strong in games where it looks good, not realizing in the games where it looks bad, it's really bad. But it's had its moment. I don't think I want to see this hero go insane.
Okay, I'll give you that. Mid lane. Jump in with the Dream Core. Blast off there as well. Monster has the Ravage. He'll pop it immediately. There's Arde gone. Onto B God they go, but they've got to be cautious not to go too far. There is a Tombstone still going. Stacking up. Sunlight's trying to take care of it with Sammy, and they do pick it up. So they do secure Arde. It's like RCY is going to be able to jaunt out. Finds himself a nice regen route on top of all that, so a free reset for the puck. The cut obviously putting a lot of emphasis on protecting the mid-tier 1 tower, and they will be able to do so with the amount of bodies they did bring in. But the wildcard side, they do get away with a nice pick on the Pos 3 Spirit Breaker. You'll be happy with that.
Yeah, nice little kill. Imperium still on the chase for Sunlight here, but not going to be able to keep up.
Get the kill.
Yeah, you can just always blast off. No hold from Imperium. Do you have to say, now right now Sammy's farming pace is through the roof. Like, he's got the Maelstrom up. He's got a lot of output, so you can just clear out camps. Has to be a bit cautious against the Ancients. Again, see how squishy this hero can be in going solo. Not the comfiest times for Sammy Boy. We'll eventually clear out these stacks. Eventually.
Indeed. There's a bit of a smoke here. MTD and B God going to move as a unit. Monster could be the target they go after, but that is a tide. Like, you should still have enough damage, but I don't think it's a risk you want to take. You'd rather go after an easier one. Flea does get spotted here by B God, but he is now out of range, so MTD not going to be... Oh, never mind. He'll show himself again. That'll be a free kill. Flea, he's gone. Not much he can do up against the Avalanche Toss combo.
That's what we need to keep seeing coming out here from the cut. Just a hit and run. with this ambush that you can get out with a blink on Tiny and B-God sneaking around. And we'll start to group up mid once more. Not quite looking for the full push, but start to apply that pressure. Wildcard is still getting a ton of space out for Sammy. You could argue, though, it's Scourge McDuck getting equally as much space on the Terrorblade, but again, I don't think that's a core-to-core matchup you really want to test. Because Muerta will just probably win out with her output. Still clumping up mid again with a charge.
They found the puck already. He's going to be able to just kind of get away, though. RCY jaunting, trying to, at least the bash was there, but no, he's fine. Now, Ade, the one in danger. They'll break the coil with the dead shot. Monster getting the Ravage again. It's a bit of deja vu here in the mid lane. Empyrean trying to back off. He'll move back in on Monster. Meanwhile, MTD, he found the puck. They've got RCY down. But MTD, can he get himself out of here? Seems like he can. No, never mind. Dead shot from Sammy. Going to cancel the TP off. But it won't matter too much. He walks his way out. Instead, B-God is going to be the sacrificial lamb for his team. Just run in to kind of give his body up here to Wildcard. So a 2-for-1 trade, but it's a position 3 and 4 at the cost of a position 2. Not the worst scenario, but certainly Wildcard still coming out on top.
Yeah, they find the kills they want, and RCY falling behind is a little bit rough. Oh.
Avalanche toss doing nowhere near enough against Monster. Oh, now even the Tiny in pretty big danger. He's going to be okay to walk his way out. Thankfully, they did not have the gush to keep going with all the slows. I do like this little cheeky combo as well from Wildcard, might I add, John. The Dream Coil into the Dead Shot, just forcing them out of the coil. It does feel quite nice, especially if you time it perfectly to really maximize the duration of the disables. Stop playing Ade. They do attempt to go for a jump, but Ade does get the Shadow Blade away. They do have vision in that dire jungle to kind of scout out these rotations from Wildcard. We do see a lot of pressure still being applied mid lane. Monster is trying with the Meteor Hammer to just slowly continue chipping away at that tier 1. And it is working. They are not able to punish the Tide yet.
Once that falls, map opens up in a big way here for the side of Wildcard. And they can start to look to pressure Scourge McDuck if they start to find him. On Scourge, he's still having that ride into the Scotty. Yasha Dragonlance up and running. MTD?
TD?
Just tosses
He'll cancel the Meteor Hammer. Thought he might have wanted the toss back, but wasn't quite the case. So they just kind of accept the fact that he's not going to die anytime soon. Though as long as Scourge McDuck is free farming on the Terrorblade, I suppose you're just happy. Because at the end of the day, it is still a Terrorblade. Maybe you're a little bit afraid of the matchup against Sammy, but there comes a point where Scourge should feel confident. Sammy, though, is having a great time. And he's got a growth burn. Well, that's great.
Yep.
Radiant's middle tower has
Feeling great. Has about 800 attack range. Always nice to see on that hero. And his Mjolnir isn't too far off now. So, another big damage spike for the Muerta. He'll start going down. Sunlight.
They don't have the stuns on this support duo of the cut, but they do have an Avalanche to come in. Charge out from Ade will ensure they get the job done. That is a position 5 techies you're committing 4 heroes for, mind you. But I suppose a kill's a kill right now for the cut. They'll take it.
You'll take what you can get. Again, this lineup of the cut does still want to play hit and run with tiny clinks and spirit breakers. So just finding any kill, it's a pretty big opening. RCY.
Jump in onto the park. RCY. Try to jaunt away. B-God on the chase. Dreamcore committed. RCY. Not going to die yet. Ade still rushing forward. The sticky bomb going to slow him up. He had charge in 1 second, but couldn't keep up the vision on the puck. So MTD now coming in with an avalanche. Everyone just trying to kill off the puck. The blast off, it's going to land. MTD, he'll get the toss out. He'll get the toss out before he has to leave the area.
under attack.
Barely getting RCY. And he even drops the voice line.
Big plays out from MTD again. Just setting the pace here for the cut. Getting these kills they really need to build up on their own. On the side of Wildcard, sure you're still ahead in Sammy, You've got the core that feels good, but with a farm on Ade and MTD, jumping the backline's not going to be too tough here. Monster just gets clipped by MTD, but there's no one around to back him up on the Tide. Would not want to have to pop the Ravage here to stay alive.
He's got the pipe up. He should be able to block a lot of the damage off from MTD. Still taking a fair bit here, though. Might need to Ravage right now. His team is incoming. The monster still tanks through it. But all that throwing, they threw everything but the kitchen sink. And the Tide, he just still walks out casually.
Yeah, that's a lot of space being built up by Wildcard. A lot of commitment coming out there from the cut. They are forced to retreat and reset. And you are still farming great, but full Mjolnir for Sammy. He wants to show that off here.
Why not? It's a lot of damage now, and the range you spoke about. 800 range on the Muerta with the Grove Bow and the Dragon Lance. Like, he can stand a mile away and get this damage off. They're not going to go for much yet. They won't see the opening they're looking for. Oh, MTD, he'd be a great target. Can he blink away in time? Yes, he can. That was right before the sun came out. The nighttime vision allowing MTD to blink out of there. Wildcard not having the observer wards to scout out the Tiny. Bit unfortunate for them. Very close game, John. 9-7. Less than 1k net worth lead the way of the cut, but it really does feel like anyone's game at the moment.
I think you've got your timings lined up here for Scourge McDuck. Scotty not too far off. They got a good jump here.
Yeah, but Ade's by himself. Ade is completely on his own. MTD was trying to rush in, but he was still too far away to blink for the Avalanche Toss combo. Ade just feeds his life away again on the Spirit Breaker.
It's a little bit keen to try to go for the solo pick-off. Good punishment coming out here from Wildcard. It does take the Ravage, so they know that there's no big team fight spell available on Monster. We'll find the Ench at least for their trouble.
That's just not the best trade, though, for sure. Position 3 for position 4. Flea, sure, he won't enjoy dying, but he'll have a 4-staff soon. And once the 4-staff is up, Flea won't be anywhere near as afraid of B-God as he has been. Able to 4-staff away from those skellies. TD. Well, he'll jump in on Monster, but we know what's going to happen there. Oh, and Scourge. He lost a huge courier.
Yeah.
Ultimate Orb and Point Booster being lost. That was his full Skadi. That's gone for 2 minutes, 15 seconds now.
Yeah, that is not good. That is a huge opening for the side of Wildcard, and they'll instantly smoke up. They can start to punish this terribly, but without the stat padding, can still be very susceptible to the damage output here. Instead, they're clumping around bot. They could go for the Roshan. With a Tide, this doesn't take too long. Here's the Veil ready here as well.
Roshan being dealt with quite easily here by Wildcard. They've certainly got enough damage. Mind you, the cut are not around to try and contest this, and I'm not 100% sure if they even know what's happening. But I suppose with the Skadi timing going down for the Terrorblade, at least for 2 minutes, you don't really have a great option in the matter. RCY in the meantime, he's defending on his own. He's already found B-God top lane, even catching Imperium with a nice Dream Coil. That'll be a secondary kill to RCY. The cut, they just can't catch a break. They lose Roshan, they lose 2 supports, they can't get a tier 2 tower, they lose their TB courier. It's everything going wrong in the last minute for the cut.
Yeah, not what you want to see here for the cut. It's getting a little bit rough with secondary life ready for Sammy. It's a little bit strange with Muerta. Arguably, again, the transformation here doesn't feel great with Aegis. At the same time, well, we haven't seen Sammy die yet, so I don't know if you can even take care of the first life here on the side of the cut. They are riding through the Spirit with no Skadi on Scourge McDuck quite nicely, though. That should be up and running with the Manta style when the courier respawns. So you're starting to feel really good on that Terrorblade. You've got a lot of output, a lot more stats to play with. I think, well, we're just waiting for the coil to unwind here. And we're waiting for that tension to release. Sammy?
Bottom lane. TD gonna try and start on Flea. Sammy, he'll get started himself. Flea already down though. Sammy caught between a rock and a hard place. Might lose that Aegis, but no, he's got the Pierce the Veil. Going to, oh my god. That was a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. My goodness, and now the coil out. MTD's been caught. MTD, stunned up, perma-stunned here, is set to fall.
Dire's middle tower is under
I did not
Yeah.
realize how much damage that did.
Yeah, you want this universal, Mike? Would you like that?
I still want it, John. Someone make it happen,
God.
Valve, please. One patch.
No.
One sub patch, make it happen.
No, I want it to be a mistake by the janitor. You know, he accidentally tries to change something where his code line, redefines his universal, and then the game is just busted. That could be the way to go. Like, as long as Pierce the Veil is up, this hero is just nutty, man. And this is without the full complement of Muerta's power spikes. Like, what we tend to see towards late game after defensive items and BKB Lincolns is, again, Scotty or Daedalus with a Moonshard. And when you can machine gun through with Pierce the Veil and the Gunslinger, it's like, yeah, everyone's dead. They just die like that.
There you go. I mean, you know, I take back what I said, John. Not as weak of a hero as I once thought. Though I suppose I agree with the point you made earlier. It is a bit more niche as a carry, as B-God now. Speaking of niche, moving on to RCY. MTD there to back him up. Avalanche will lock him down. Toss is up, and they'll have plenty of damage here for RCY. That's a great pick-off here for the cut.
They've got really good vision coming out from the cut. And they've got good forward wards. They've got the sentries to defend those ward positions. No sort of defensive vision in the jungle from Wildcard, which is where they're being picked off.
MTD,
Might be able to find
don't die
MTD
now.
now, though.
It's okay. He's got the backup. Here comes Sammy, though. That's the big one. Speaking of big ones, the Ravage was huge to boot. And everyone is melting. Triple
Yeah.
kill for Sammy. Holy crap.
Yeah. Muerta in this game, man. It's what do? You can't even run up a Scourge McDuck. He had Metamorphosis. He knew that was a lost cause when MTD was caught out. You just can't run in. You can't deal with his hero. And this is Sammy without the BKB. Once he's got BKB, you don't need to care at
All
all.
the damage. 4,750 damage from Sammy in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Pretty
See,
much
once
just-
the Ravage comes out. Holy crap.
Radiant's top tower.
Yep.
It's
Deleted. They're gone. BKB doesn't save you either. It doesn't.
Radiant's
That's
top
right, they
tower
changed
is
it.
under attack.
Yeah, you gain a 50% magic res. Alright, I mean, that's cool. But Sammy will still rip you apart. That's the one frustrating thing about playing against the Muerta. I mean, BKBs actually don't save you. You have to just burst her. You have to wait for Sammy's BKB to go down as well, and then just go for the avalanche toss. Heck, actually, if MTD can start with an avalanche toss onto Sammy, that's a straight up kill.
Well, he's got the Tide instead. Monster doesn't have the Ravage, though. He's just casually walking out. Arne's moving in. Sammy is literally standing his ground. It's a shootout, but Sammy's the only one shooting. Sammy's the only one shooting. He is the Wild
Oh my
Wild West.
God.
Go ahead, punks. Make my day, he says.
The dumber thing is that his shard is actually insane. 30% spell lifesteal during it, and he gains 2% spell amp every time a kill happens around him. It's like,
Of course he does.
That's why. I get the 30% spell lifesteal, sure. But the fact that he'll also just get stacks of spell amp when kills happen around him during that Pierce the Veil, it's like, kills will always happen when you pop Pierce the Veil. So you will always get more spell amp. Spell amp on a guy that does magical damage on his ultimate. Scaling up, like, this is ridiculous. Can be ridiculous.
Can be. BKB up next for Sammy Boy. What's Scourge building? He's going for the silver edge, so not seeing the value in the BKB this game, which I suppose is absolutely fair, because I don't think it would matter that much against the Muerta this game around. Mind you, like, the one concern I have for Scourge is if you get Ravaged, which has been the big kind of spell in these team fights, like one Ravage, and Sammy just needs a couple seconds to delete everyone in the fight. Like this gunslinger combo with the Mjolnir, and now a double damage rune, by the way, on our Muerta.
Dire's top tower.
You know, like one good Ravage, everyone's just getting wiped.
They're just going to be dead. We've got the Lincolns to protect now on Sammy. BKB afterwards. Kind of want to see whether or not the Daedalus is something you'd want to gun for. Otherwise, the Scotty's pretty good here with a Moonshard. Either one kind of works out. I would want to see him buy his own shard, just because it's so impactful. I don't think you can afford to wait for the Tormentors. It does look like he will.
Dire's top
But man,
tower
just
is under
30% spell life steal during PS to Veil. Like, the fact that it's like a satanic active for you with your damage. You're just gonna have fun. This is the point where Muerta's fun, right? We talked about the power spikes being a bit funky. Up and down it is from laning phase into the mid game. But as you approach 30 minutes with this itemization, Muerta starts to feel really good. Granted, again, there are a couple of caveats. You're always susceptible to burst damage. BKB or not in Sammy.
is under
If MTD can jump you first, avalanche toss you, then you are pretty much dead. Almost
They're gonna
guaranteed
find
dead.
MTD. He shows top lane. The Avalanche gonna go into the creep wave. He's feeling confident with the Shadow Blade, but the Dream Call's gonna land. They know he's in there. They'll dust him up. MTD is gone.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He was confident to get away that time, but that was not how it works out for him. At least they are pressuring the top tier 3 quite a bit. They are forcing Wildcard to run across the map to try and address that. That's one positive, but that's about the only gameplay they seem to have right now in the cut.
Just a little bit of a split push coming out. It's been a farm fiesta for Scourge McDuck. He's shown up for a couple of fights, but not too many. Shadow Blade up. It's full Silver Edge flying out now. So you will have a little bit more output, but I don't know if that's going to help against Sammy just yet. I mean, level 20 talent up, 20% Gunslinger chance, so a total of 70%, which is pretty much 100% for the most part here for the Muerta.
Radiant's middle
And
tower is under attack.
despite, not doing too much with the Aegis here on Wildcard, they should be able to still find that room to shove in. They're shoving in top and mid. The clear is there from MTD. But there's that full BKB that we've been waiting for on Sammy. They are trying to collapse onto bot here.
Radiant are scanning.
Silver Edge up on Scourge McDuck. At least you have that up now. I just don't know how much it's going to matter. Like, I suppose just kiting out the Muerta is the main play with that, but here we go. Smoke up again. Obviously, the break very effective against Monster to boot. Here we go. Down towards the bottom lane. Smoke on smoke scenario between these two. The cut. Looking to move in. So are Wildcard. Lincoln's picked up by RC White. So even more defense coming from the puck. The cut's still looking for an angle here, but Wildcard are baiting on that bot creep wave, though it is complete bait. Monster's gonna jump in. MTD caught out. He tried to go for a TP out of this. I believe, if I saw that correctly. No, never mind, he didn't. It was the Glimmer Cape animation. Never mind that though, because look at this!
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah.
Who cares about the TP miss thing I said, John? They get caught by this dream coil, it's all over.
Dream Coil or Ravage, and even that dead shot coming out actually sets up onto MTD here from Sammy. And you just see what happens. You're a Terrorblade with Scotty, you've got a decent amount of stats, you just die from a few hits from Sammy here. As he is soloing Roche as well, which is kind of ridiculous, but he should have some assistance now, and that is Aegis and Cheese. That will go the way of Wildcard. And the game's certainly in their hands right now. Win probability up to 93%. I don't know if you can stop Sammy at all. Like, MTD has to get this jump. If he doesn't get the avalanche toss onto Sammy, then it doesn't feel like there's much hope. Because that is the one hero you really have to worry about. You could get Ravage all you want. You could get coiled, but the damage is coming out from Sammy boy. And there's just no one to stop him.
Top lane, B-God. Oh, B-God's gone. No chance. I'm trying to find some kind of light at the end of the tunnel here for the cut right now. Like, what item? What is?
Wait, why is Sammy going for the parting shot? He's going for the X.
The parting shot.
Yeah, and the Ags is you shoot someone, you push out their soul, it's stunned, silenced, and untargetable, and the body takes 50% less damage. So it's weird. I think it's more of a saving spell. It's such a weird. I don't know. This parting shot's weird. It used to be bugged, so you could parting shot like a Phoenix and have 2 eggs up, have the soul cast egg, and then when Phoenix is back up, like this. You have a Phoenix and an egg at the same time, but I believe they've patched all of those interactions out. So I'm not sure what Sammy wants to do with his Ags. Maybe just to save.
Are fortified.
So you can use it on your allies then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So you can maybe save RCY if he's caught out.
This
You
this
can't
will be
shoot
the first
yourself.
time I'm seeing it. As MTD tries to jump in, gets no toss back. T3 tower in the mid lane is gone. Sammy is gonna shred through these Raxes at a decent pace with the gunslinger. So this is a good, like, gunslinger on buildings just seems a bit too much almost in a game like this. Is MTD again gonna miss out on the toss, and now Monster jumping in, forcing the BKB. Pump fakes the Ravage. So no BKB available. MTD had just picked this one up as well. So that was your 9-second duration now down. Wildcard, no
Come on, Mikey.
real fear of losing this next fight.
You can't say Gunslinger's silly in buildings when you wanted Muerta to be universal. You
I
gotta
do
say,
just-
oh, it's kind of trash. Make it universal. You know, sell me on it. Sell me
Well,
on it.
it's kind of hard. What, do you work at Valve now, John? Is there something I don't know about? Are Are's
Unless you
caught.
know, Mike.
Coil is there. Meteor Hammer's obviously not going to land, but Monster said screw that anyway. Ravage committed. I guess they kind of have to ensure they secure the kill, because he could have charged away had they not. So there you go. Ravage committed. I don't
Sam's
think
really going
Wildcard.
for it.
Why not,
Sam's
John?
really going for the Axe Blessing. I mean, surely
not?
the Shard. Surely the Shard with the spell Lifesteal. Then again, he's not dying, so I suppose there's no use. If you're not losing HP, Lifesteal doesn't make sense, right?
Well, what
that-
point is
that
life
kinda
still
makes
if you're not
sense.
dying, John?
Yeah,
Makes
exactly
sense,
it. I mean, the spell amp would be nice though, but I guess it's just a bonus. I am keen on seeing what the hell will he do with his parting shot. what do you do with that? Like, it's so weird. Like, it's a saving spell with damage. It's like, what? I guess it makes
Let
sense
us
for Pierce
see.
the Veil because it only is like physical resist, like 50% physical damage reduction. So in Pierce the Veil, you don't care. So I guess you could burst yours down.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Here we go. Wildcard right through the top lane of Barracks. No problems here for the Muerta.
Has fallen.
One lane of Barracks left for Megas, and the Cut have just not had a chance to abuse any of their net worth. Like, all this net worth that they've got means zero, it seems. Like, Wildcard, they get one good jump, the fight's over. Here we go. They'll have to smoke up. They have to be the aggressors on the Cut, but the problem is the mines are giving all the info away. Sunlight, he's gonna blast off, try to get out of here. Arde's in the middle of nowhere again, though. He was forced to charge to try and set up a team fight. It's so tough. The way Wildcard have played out this draft is just perfect. You can't be the aggressors against them because they've got mines everywhere to scout out smokes. But if you don't play aggressively and they jump you, you just get wiped in 2 seconds. There's just no choice.
Radiant's middle tower is under
There's
attack.
no play for the side of the Cut. And again, it's down to the draft opening up with the Spirit Breaker, which we know Ade had a rough time with in game one. I just not sure why they prioritize it so much. Allowing the techies through as well. I understand the bans, but seeing that game one, surely some respect bans were necessary there from the Cut. Wildcard, it just doesn't feel like they're being contested here. Aegis will expire, so Sammy might be in a risky position, but he hasn't died yet. I don't know if the Aegis will really matter too much for him. So they'll just keep shoving in bot. And perhaps gun for the high ground. And they've got Ravage, they've got the Coil, they've got everything ready.
Here we go again. One final defense perhaps to come here from the Cut. They don't have many buybacks. The Ravage is out. Scourge, he got the BKB in time, so he's going to avoid the initial stun. In they go, though, with the calling, just holding everyone back. Still, Pierce the Veil has not been committed yet. He's holding out. There it is. Sammy pops it now. There's a
Oh my
secondary
God.
Ravage monster. He's got them all. He has got everyone. And everyone just melts. It's over. Just call it. It's done. It was done 20 minutes ago. Wildcard, they have made it, Jonathan. The first team to get to Division 1 NA for Tour 1 next year. It's going to be Wildcard. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. They clean up their...